Hello, and welcome to a very sentimental episode of A Drink with the Past with your hosts,
Martin.
and Jose, and our featured guests,
Amara Soto.
Neil Beliso.
Today, we are detouring from our usual global history talk and honing in on our recent post-graduation milestone of 10 years from high school. Our drinks for this special episode include Captain Morgan, White Rum, Maker's Kentucky Whiskey, and Kirkland Tennessee Whiskey. I'm spacing out a little bit. So, hold on. I should probably pour one. I totally forgot about that part.
Oh, you seriously forgot to pour one for yourself?
Yeah,
Oh my
okay.
God.
Sorry, my fault. Let me just go ahead and pour one. Oh, that was a lot. Never mind. That's fine. So feel free to pour a drink of your choice and drink responsibly as always. And cheers as we take a drink with the past.
So cheers.
Cheers. All right.
Alright. So guys, 10 years. What a crazy time that is, guys. 10 years since we graduated, and it's literally going to be like this week. Like this week is going to be like the 10th year where we graduated on the 4th. Yeah, it was the 4th of June 10 years ago where we graduated from school. I don't know if you remember your
I
day.
don't remember my day.
So in case you guys are wondering,
Somewhere
three of us went to the same school. Me, myself, Jose, and Neil. We went to San Antonio High, and Amara actually went to Tockwitz High School in Hemet. But nevertheless, we graduated the same year from there, and I mean, you know, a lot of memories. Right, we met each other not just through school. Well, the three of us met each other through school, but then with Amara, we met each other through church.
Yeah.
Right, through catechism and our youth nights and, you know, all the other events.
And I actually went to middle school with Neil, so
Yes,
yeah.
we did. Before I moved, hopped
Yeah.
over the boundary line.
Oh, rude.
It wasn't my choice.
It wasn't intentional.
It was intentional.
I literally showed up to middle school that next year and was like, I'm here to get my schedule, and they said, just kidding, you're no longer in our district. And then I said, bye, Amara.
In
See you
Belen.
at church.
In Belen, too. Only in Belen.
Yeah.
That would have pissed me off. I'm like, I'm sorry, what? I'm only here a
Oh.
week, and then you tell me I have to hop over this way?
I was distraught. I really was. That first 2 weeks at Monte Vista were not cute.
Oh, no.
It's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard being over there.
So, what were like some of the best memories you guys had in high school?
I have to think about it. I still have racking my head around since yesterday, trying to figure out what memory I have of high school.
Keeping to myself.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Trust us, we know a lot about Tockwitz. What happened at Tockwitz?
Tell us about Talkwitz since we were
Yeah.
over at
Yeah.
Well, I never-
So
I
what
mean,
was senior year like at Talkwitz?
I don't know. Martin asked me a little while ago if I was like popular, and I'm like, definitely not. I wouldn't say I was popular. I would say, well, like, what I really liked about high school was tennis. I liked tennis a lot.
I remember.
Yeah, I played for
you-
like 3 years, and then I think I was like on varsity like the last 2 years. Not that we were like wonderful or anything.
That's how you would
But-
categorize our school too. Like everyone that played was essentially just varsity, but we never had to brag about much because we were just there for the vibes. Yeah. At least for me, that's how I've, in retrospect, view tennis as just a vibe. Because I'm pretty good at it now, but in high school I was pretty much
Good at it
I
now.
was not
Okay.
that great. Mostly because I was just brand new to it. So
we're most of us were brand new to it. I know, like Steven was brand new to it.
yeah,
Steven played tennis too.
yeah, you did.
He's right.
He's in there,
It's
so-
your year. He's
He's in here, so let's find the tennis page. Steven and I played football, and then he was also at church.
You played
Yeah.
football?
Yeah, he did. He
Oh
played
my
football
gosh.
Like
all
2
throughout.
years.
Oh, 2 years? Oh, I
Yeah.
thought it was all throughout.
Because we were
Oh,
in
no,
the
sorry,
band.
that's
Because we were in the
cross-country,
band. Well, because he was mainly in cross country and track.
That's
Steven.
right,
Yeah.
yeah.
But like for the football, he finished after sophomore year because since we were in the band together, it was like we didn't want to be in varsity because we like band. I mean, well, with me, I didn't want to be in varsity, but I wanted to be in band still.
Mhm.
So, but But I think Steven decided to just join his senior year of tennis.
Actually, you know, when they had first talked about making the volleyball team there, I kind of regretted it now, but I felt like I should have joined volleyball because I enjoyed playing it during the summer, whenever we'd have like the summers off. Not that I was great at it, but I mean, also I was only there for vibes. I could care less if I'm a pro or not at that point. But I was like, that now I think about it, I'm just like maybe I should have played volleyball.
Wait, so how many years did you play tennis?
2. I
Two?
started in junior year.
And then you did your senior year.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Just so we could have like a rep on our.
And not really a rep. I don't know what you would get out of, you know,
Well,
besides
but
the skill.
Yeah,
But I mean,
I guess like now
Lettering
college.
jacket?
Yeah, did you?
Hmm?
Did you end up like making varsity and lettering?
They basically just say yes, but essentially we were like,
JV.
so
We were, like,
they say
technically
JV, but
yeah.
in like the group
We were
pictures or
all
whatever, it's all varsity.
Yeah, we were all part of
Oh.
varsity. Yeah, but technically it was like, oh, we were separated into varsity and JV. But like you said, like when we did the team picture, it was like, oh, we're all varsity. You're all varsity. It was like,
Technically speaking, the title is varsity,
Yeah,
so
the
I
title-
will ride that for now, because I don't care what anyone says at that point.
no, but I mean, yeah, I mean, high school was full of like interesting things. Not that I care because I was that one lonely kid who like went and do my own thing. So I was like the band geek.
Hmm.
So I just hung out in the band room all the time, whether it was nutrition, lunch, in the morning when I got to school.
Okay.
I was always in the band room, so I could care less of what happened outside, like in the quad of the school or
Yeah,
things
it's
like that. I
like-
just heard things by ear. I usually hear things by ear of like what happened.
I think it's so funny how everybody's high school experience is just like so different. Like for me, I could relate to that too, cause like I didn't really hang out with many people, mainly by choice. But I don't know. Like I remember having a conversation with my mom, and she's like, "I really like thought that you were gonna have like a high school experience, like that was really really enjoyable, and that like." You know, kind of like you see on Disney Channel, like, oh, you know, you have all these friends, and I'm like, no, it wasn't like that for me at all. You know? I'm like, honestly, like looking back, I feel like high school for me was like one of the roughest points of like my life in terms of like you learn so much socially, you know, and it's just I don't know. It could either be depending on who you are, like really good or like really like horrendous.
I think most of it, if you put it simply, it's like not a social experiment, but it's more so like expanding on your social awareness and just learning different cues that you don't get in middle school or in elementary school. And depending on like how like your family background or just culturally speaking, like how you grow up with, kind of just affects how you interact with people in school. And I think high school is like just that final push before going to college, where you have to like kind of see what other people's like social cues and vibes are, and then make that choice. Like, do I talk to these people or do I just stay to myself and
Yeah.
find people that I connect with at that point that share the same interests.
Yeah.
And sometimes like when you hear about like bullies and stuff like that, I feel like it happens like so intensely in high school too. But I've like reflected on it, and I feel like the reason is because like we're all just like in the same environment with the same people. You
It's
get
like a bubble.
sick of them. And like
Yeah.
you don't really have any other goals other than like, oh, I guess I need to get like a good grade in this class to graduate, you know? And so I think like once you leave high school, you actually have like all these other goals and aspirations, and you find your way. And so you don't have too much time to focus like socially. Like it's hard to find time for your friends now, you know? And
Yeah. Nowadays, yeah.
and so I think that's why that environment is like that in high school. Like you have nothing, like your whole world is each other, and you're either like for each other's necks or you're like having the best day of your life, you know?
Or both.
Yeah.
And both happen in the same day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's probably days where I actually felt that, where it's either one or the other, or sometimes it's both. It just usually depends on how much the teacher pisses you off, or or how much they don't, and then you can all just like hang out and just do what
Like
you need to do.
Or you get annoyed by some teachers' habits.
Don't get me started with teachers' habits right now, because there's way too many of those.
Oh my gosh, say their names. What?
God, man.
No, maybe not.
No,
No,
definitely
They might
not.
still be employed there, then we might get them fired. Actually, never
that's
mind.
One thing, so obviously we have like a lot of like perks that we had experienced in high school, like, well, not just like with the teachers we have, I mean with each other. I mean, especially like in a class, especially when it comes to group projects. in an AP World History class
Mhm.
where everything went to naught.
The dinner table party.
Yes,
Oh my gosh, that was. I mean, it was a fun one.
at least your group probably did good, better than my group.
Were we not in the same group?
No.
Who was in your group?
It was me, Spring, Alex, and I forgot another one, but it wasn't you. You were in a different group. But
Zane and I were in a group. We were always in group projects together.
Yeah. I was about to
Yeah.
say, like,
Who else was in our group though? Was it Alfredo?
No, I don't think so.
Mo hadn't moved to our school yet. Who
No,
else
Mo
were
was
you
there, but I think he
with?
was with Dustin. And everyone else. Who did I forget? I wish I remember.
but
Maybe
anyway,
we would team up with Abby with
Yeah.
some projects, but I think it was an Abid.
Yeah.
anyway, when it comes to group projects, I kid you not, the worst project in my entire high school career was that dinner project. And let me just say, when you're one of the only ones in that group who actually get their shit together during Thanksgiving break.
Oh my god, yeah, we had to do it over a break. This whole project. What was it? Like 6 historical figures.
And you have
And
to
you had
make a
to make
menu.
a whole menu.
That's
And a
historically
and
accurate.
historical accurate.
And you have to make a script.
And the script. And then you had to act out the script. And then like your dialogue had to like show some knowledge of what they did in their lives. And so you'd be like, oh, I just came back from signing the Declaration of
Oh my God.
Independence. I'm like,
I just
Very
came from,
cringy.
I just came from attacking a nomadic tribe.
Yeah.
like,
Oh
a,
my
like a tell the like a
was-
tell the.
yeah.
But the thing is like the thing that pissed me off was my grade. I'm sure you guys got pretty good grades on yours, but with my
Probably.
grade, I almost failed with my project because apparently someone was gonna go to Vegas during the break, and so he couldn't do his part in the script, and then the others, I don't know what they were doing, but that led up to me having to make my part. My part was to do the menu. And my thing was the only historically accurate one out of the entire thing because I literally looked it up online in which I said, what did people eat in the Middle Ages? You know, what did people eat in the Middle Ages? So I looked it up and I said, okay, this is good, this is good, good. I put it down. And on the day we got back from Thanksgiving break, I kid you not, Alex was like, oh, I didn't do the script. Bro, what do you mean you didn't do the script, bro? It's like, you know we had this thing going on. He's like, no, sorry, I didn't do it. It's like, oh God, so Spring had to, Spring was she was on it, honestly. Like, she was kind of on it, but like, she spent like the whole morning, like during band, like writing up a script. And how long was the script was supposed to be? Like 5-6 minutes?
Who knows? It
Like, it
probably
was like
is.
a-
It wasn't that
like
long
minimum.
for sure.
Yeah, it was supposed to be like a 5-minute, 6-minute thing, and we only came up with like 3 minutes. And so, like, when we went up there, we looked like damn fools up there presenting, right? We barely had any people to come up and do the part. It just backfired so badly. And then when we got our grade, we got like a C, I think. I think like a C or a D. I forgot. But literally on the rubric that she gave, that Mrs. McDonald gave back to us, like she literally wrote down, good job with the menu, historically accurate. And I was like, that's right. I was like, that's right. My menu was the only thing that got an A plus because it was historically accurate. If it wasn't for that menu, we would have freaking failed that assignment. So thanks a lot. And then a few years later, I was getting my hair cut and I see Alex at the barber shop and I said, oh, hi, how are you doing, right? How are you doing? How's everything? How's life? Oh, it's good, blah, blah, blah. A few years later, right? And then we talked about
this.
and then we talked about it. We talked about like the good old days, right? About like the project and everything. And he's like, oh, hey, you want to know something? And I was like, what? I actually didn't go to Vegas that week. I was like, you bastard. I was like, you idiot. I was like, what do you mean? I was like, oh, you mother. Oh.
But it's okay because then you later, because in that moment you must have found your passion for history, and later what bloomed was a
Truly.
drink with a pass.
Yeah,
So congratulations.
the butterfly effect.
Oh,
If he had gone to Vegas.
True.
Well, if he had not gone. What? If he had not gone to Vegas.
Is that what drew you
Go
to
to
history? Now
Vegas.
I'm actually
Wait, I
curious.
am interested to know. Like, was there a point in high school? Were you always really drawn to history, or was
Honest-
there a point in high school or earlier
Honestly,
than
I was
that
I was actually
pulled you
drawn.
towards it?
Well, I was drawn to history because of middle school. I first started being drawn to it. What was it?
I was like, okay.
Miss Burbridge, 7th grade.
Oh, okay.
Miss
Burbridge was good.
I got into history a lot because of Miss Burbridge in middle school.
Everyone must have got a lucky break having that teacher.
Oh my god, we had the other one.
The other one, yeah. Let's go with that. Yeah, the other one.
Let's just go with it.
Miss
Yeah.
Mentos, Martos.
And then,
Yeah.
well, with Mr. Rhodey, it got me more interested because Mr. Rhodey was.
He was really good. He was a really
He
nice
showed his
teacher.
glory. He showed his glory.
Is that what the name of the movie was? Like,
He showed his glory about the
Probably.
54th Massachusetts Regiment, the colored regiment.
probably.
With Morgan Freeman and Denzel Washington.
I know very little of Morgan Freeman from that one, so.
So, but actually, my AP World History was actually pretty good for me because, unlike regular World History, who started like right on the Enlightenment, because I think that's where we started on the Enlightenment for regular
Probably.
World History. But for AP World History, we literally learned everything from like everything. Yeah.
Might as well have gone back to fucking, what is it, the Cretaceous period, and then go through evolution.
Even now,
started in like.
well, we started.
Oh,
like,
wait, no, we actually started,
Mesopotamia.
yeah, I was gonna say.
Like Mesopotamia.
Yeah,
we
you
started,
started
with
with, like, the first.
Mesopotamia, ancient
They
Egypt.
don't even teach it that way anymore.
They don't.
Right?
Ever
They
since
don't.
she left, I think she left maybe like 2 or 3 years into us. No, because she was there after we left. But I think it was like a year or 2 after we left. She transitioned to, I think she's in Temecula or Murrieta, somewhere around there. Doing the same thing, probably.
Or into administration. I think she's an admin. No.
Uh.
Yeah, she did. She does admin, but like, I mean, yeah, it was just. And then it kind of went up to junior year in U.S. history, where like I did get interested in history because of my teacher, Mr. Savala, my U.S. history teacher, Mr. Savala. You guys had AP U.S. history with Miss Bella, or
Yeah.
Miss Benetel. Was it
Miss
Benetel?
Vella
Yeah,
who
Miss
went
Vella.
on pregnancy leave,
Part of it, yeah. She came back
and then we were with.
at the end. She came back.
I was so
Yeah.
scared of the other two. Who's the other teacher?
Schluck away.
Schluck away.
I knew you were gonna
We
mention.
got into
it.
an argument one time.
Who?
Schluck away.
Who got an argument? Wait, who?
Because junior year was a lot. I did not do my homework for history. I had no time to read that many pages of the textbook.
Honestly,
every night.
it was. I don't know what to expect having to transition half of the year into his class because we're like.
It was rough,
He
'cause
looked
their
like he didn't know
teachings-
what he was doing either because
Their
he's.
teaching styles were so different.
Yeah.
And I remember Miss Vella had this like list of movies you could watch and write a report on for like a few extra credit points, and I was like, okay, well, I need this to like bump my grade up back to an A.
Exactly. I'm
And
like.
so I did it. I think I like didn't do a project,
Mm,
and I
oh.
was like, let me just do these reviews. And he's
Yeah.
like, I'm not gonna take it. Like you just didn't do the project. I'm like, well, my teacher had this like agreement in place, like take my movie reports. Remember, I went to his class at a different period. I like left AP language with who was our teacher's name?
Oh, I was about to say her first name. I think it was Smith Wines. I think.
Smith Wines,
Yeah.
Tammy.
Yeah.
Anyway, she was cool. But yeah, I remember I had like asked to leave and like went over. He was super quiet in his class, and like one of my friends was in there, and he was like, "You got this." And I walk over, I go, "These are my movie reports. Take them." Walked away. Something like that. Something where I was like,
Oh no!
I wrote them. I hope you take
Bold.
them.
I hope it was not during 5th period.
No,
that's
no,
what I
'cause
had
it's
you.
second
That's
period.
No, yeah,
what I
yeah.
had
It
you
was-
at. Oh, I
it
was
was
in mariachi. I was
it was-
fine. I wasn't in the. I
Yeah,
wasn't in the
no,
area.
it was at the
I was in
beginning of the
mariachi.
day.
I was in.
Yeah.
I was in mariachi.
And you know what? He took them, and my grade went up. So, all is well.
You know what? Yeah, bold enough.
I mean, I was literally, my U.S. history class was like right next door to him with Stavala, so we could literally hear everything that was coming from like the other side of the wall.
He was pretty
Yeah.
loud, honestly. Like he
Oh,
was
he
louder.
was.
He
He
was
was a
louder
loud
than
teacher.
he was louder than Ms. Bella was. But for the most part, everyone was quiet. It looked like you could hear a pin drop, but obviously he's just yelling the entire time. Made me feel
I
like
mean,
I was.
his classroom management skills was like, it was on point. I mean, it was good.
I mean, he was also the proctor for every single test that anyone was taking.
Oh, I remember.
Yes.
I think he was like.
So he had to
proctor for
yell
one
because
again.
he
Test
refused
proctor.
to use the microphone. I remember I think it was because I had taken my Spanish test, and anytime like anyone's recording was going off and it wasn't working, and we were trying to like mess around with it, he would like yell from across the room, like, "Stop fucking around with the." Well, obviously he didn't use those exact words, but essentially it's like, "Stop fucking around."
Your
with it,
voice
like,
was
you're
loud
gonna-
enough
you're-
that you might as well have said that.
And then sometimes like if other people are trying to talk, and you could probably hear him yelling in the recording. I'm just like, if people don't pass, that's probably because of him, because he's yelling from across the room, telling someone else to shut the fuck up already. Like, oh god,
Well, he's retired.
is he?
He retired 2 years ago.
Probably
Okay.
for good reason, it sounds
No, wait.
like.
No, wait. He retired in the end of 2021, like the school year, the 2020-2021 school year, he retired.
Okay.
Because he wasn't there when I did my student teaching. Yeah. Yeah, so he
Would you have wanted to do your student teaching with him?
Oh no, Miss Thomas loves student teachers. Yeah, I would
Is that-
have gone with
Oh,
her.
okay.
But the reason why I did my student teaching with Mr. Savala was because he knows. Was because he told me, he was like, Martin, if I didn't know you, I would not have done it. But because I know you and you're my ex student, I'm doing it for you.
Right.
Basically. But yeah, so tell me about trying to sing a whole new world.
I think it was
I
like
need a
maybe.
refresher on what that project was.
So it was just basically a parody of every single. I think we had to. I don't know if we had to choose a Disney song, or we just ended up deciding 4 different Disney songs, and
That's gonna be
it was because we were paired with Nicole, and AJ. And
Oh my
we had all gone over to your house because we did all the recording there. I think we spent maybe 4 or 5 hours recording
I was
the
not
audio.
a good host at that time. I like left to eat dinner and just like left you guys to start.
Yeah, and then I think we had to like
So
stay.
bad.
I think
It
we had
was
to.
so bad.
I think we had to stay like 2 or 3 hours after school there to do like video recordings of like part of it.
Do you remember that Nicole wanted to do like a clay stop motion video?
Yeah,
part?
I remember that.
And so she like built the things out of clay. I
Uh-huh.
don't know what she was making. And she was like, okay, cool, let me put these in your oven so that they can
Yeah.
set.
Yeah.
And then suddenly we smell burning.
No.
The clay had melted. Solidified.
God.
Oh, my dad was pissed at me. Solidified on my oven floor.
No.
Like clay was stuck on the metal grates.
Yikes.
And we had to like scrap that whole. She had like written a script and everything. She had, like,
I know.
scrapped that
I
whole
felt
part
so
of the
bad that she had to
project.
start over and had to figure something else out because I don't know how. I mean, we had like a month or 2. I don't remember how
What
long.
was
How
the
does
parody
clay
about?
melt?
I think it
don't
no.
know. She
It probably
must have
has.
used the
Dry it
wrong. Right.
out.
It probably
She
has
must have
something.
used the wrong thing.
Maybe it probably had something to do with like literal terminology like anecdotes and synecdoche or like some terminology I don't even
For
care
English-
for like
It's for
English
English.
grammar or something like that, something like that.
Yeah.
And
Because there's a whole new. You did a whole new
the
world.
world,
I did.
part of it. Oh
I
god,
only remember AJ doing the Circle of Life.
I just know. I think it was
I don't know
maybe
what song I did.
either that summer or maybe like after high school. I had texted Nicole and I was like, "Hey, do you still have the video? Because I think
if
she
you're
had
hearing
saved
this,
it."
Nicole, if you're hearing this, Nicole, I was like, how's
If you're in this, Nicole, hi.
Yeah, I hope you're doing well.
Hope you're doing well.
he wants to know
But
the
if we still have the video, I don't know if she ever sent it or maybe I just totally forgot about it. But I was like, I need to see it because it made me laugh so hard, and I feel like everyone
I heard
in the
the whole
room.
room laugh.
Yeah, no, I feel like everyone was just laughing, not at me, but I think everyone was just laughing with us just because it was so funny.
Yeah,
If
it
anything
was really
else, it was
ridiculous.
just so funny, and it was honestly, I feel like we had deserved an A, even if we already did at that point. I feel like it was awesome. That was probably a really great experience doing that. Just doing that. There was obviously some group projects that that I've been a part of that have been like that, where one person doesn't do any of the work, so they're kind of just stuck there doing like 3/4 of it all, and then the other person doesn't have to do any of it.
That's why I hate group projects. To
Did you
this
have
day.
ones like those, Amara?
Yeah.
Like group project?
Yeah.
Yeah, like any group, anything.
You
Well,
know
you
what?
had
Chocolates.
No, oh my
Tell us
gosh.
about the world of chocolates this time.
Oh,
We're talking about
God.
the world of San
No, I did have group I feel like I didn't have like too many, but the ones that I remember are from physics because oh my gosh, physics was horrible. I had to take that class twice. And it's so funny because all the kids in the class were failing, okay? And they just like didn't hold
I
the
can relate
teacher
to
accountable.
that.
He's like, no, it's the students. Like, it's not me. Like, how is your whole class failing? And we're the problem. But yeah, I had a couple like physics projects. There was one where we had to do like a little roller coaster thing. I remember, and I guess it was the whole thing of just like the ball like going down or whatever. We ended up getting like an A on that one. It still didn't help me pass. I got a D. I got a D in the class. But we got like an extra credit point because we had like little bowling pins at the end, and so when it came down, it like knocked the bowling pin off.
Like a bowling.
That's so funny. That's
And
so
then-
real.
Yeah, so we did really good on that one. And then there was another one where we had to build and design like a boat, and it had Radio Shack was still here, so we had to get like a little motor.
We
Oh.
drove by the Walmart near West Valley. It's still there.
No.
Or at least the
Well,
sign
it's
is
like
still
the
there.
sign is. Yeah.
Oh, but okay.
I miss,
Yeah.
I miss Radio Shack.
So we had to get him. I had never walked in there before.
Oh,
So we
Baltimore,
had to
yeah,
get
really?
like a little like motor thingy that would help the propeller run.
Mm.
And like I remember I had come up with like the curvature of the bottom, and I'm like, oh, this can do so good, like whatever. And there was this kid, and he was like, I guess he was like the smart one or whatever. And mind you, like my parents bought all the materials that we needed, okay?
You see, that's the one
And
thing I
then
hate about the project.
I remember when we were like done with the boat, he was like, I don't even remember this kid's name, but but he was like, oh yeah, when we're done with this, I'm keeping it because this was my design. And I'm like, boy, like you didn't even like spend a penny on this.
You
I mean, that's
could have
beside
just
the-
sold it to be like, yeah, I'll sell it to you for
Yeah.
$80.
Your design.
No, but then when
My
it,
efforts.
dude, but then when it
Exactly.
came, we didn't have enough time to test it, okay? So when it came time, we're like trying to turn it on.
no.
The thing was not working. And I remember we got an A, but listen, we got an A because we were supposed to take it out to the school pool and like
That's the
have them
benefits
run.
of the pool. That's the
And
benefits.
so, but this day it was like raining, so it was scheduled for that day, and we just never were able to do it. And I'm like, oh my gosh, thank goodness. Because if it wasn't running, we probably would have gotten an F.
Oh, God.
Like total polar opposite. And I don't know who ended up with the boat, but I'm like, whatever. I'm just glad this is done. Like
Yeah.
it was
At
over
that point,
with.
if you had remembered, you should just upcharge them and like, you know what, $80. You know, I built the
Back
damn,
then- back
I built the
then,
damn
it
thing.
would've
with
Supply and
material.
demand. How much do you want this? Like,
If you were smart back then. Well, now
You know
it's
about
like-
economics, right? Low supply and demand. Like, hello.
Oh, don't get me started. Economics. That was the only C I got in high school.
I remember
Economics.
so little. It was the last social studies class we took.
Economics
Yeah.
and
I remember
government.
so little from it.
Honestly, Miss
Who'd you
Gardner,
have?
Miss
Oh,
Gardner
you
was
had
just
Gardner,
like,
yeah. I had Miss Jordan.
She was like, we'd show up, she'd
Okay,
be
be
like,
careful
okay,
what
we're
you
doing this
say.
efficiently. She had her whole binder, and it was like, this is everything I'm going to teach you. And she'd flip to we got the whole course in a binder.
yeah, exactly.
She'd
Exactly.
Flip to this page, do these pages, this is the concept. You're going to pass the AP test, and you know what? I
Yeah, well, I did. I was surprised to have passed it. The only classes I ever passed on the test was Spanish and micro. Micro was surprised. Like I somehow caught on to fairly easy. But
do not
any of the
know
history
how.
classes, no, fuck that. I
What-
dive
did you
bombed
guys
on those
remember
two.
the scores you guys got for World and
World, I
US?
got a 4. US, I got a 2.
Okay, I should have asked
US
about
is just not my
US.
World history. You know what? That's
Should
crazy.
ask it.
World history got a
World-
1, and then
What?
U.S. history got a 2.
How,
Because somehow I'm
how did you get a
miraculous.
1 in world history?
I wasn't paying attention. Like honestly,
What
I
did
was.
you mess with? The multiple obviously you could not have messed up the multiple
There were
subjects.
too many.
and the-
There's too many
can't cover
essays. The
2,000
DBQs
years
pissed me
in a
off.
course.
The DBQs, FRQs.
Well, at least
the-
you got a 4. I got a 3, which I mean I passed. Anyways, I passed. I got a 3.
I was so confident whenever we do like the document-based questioning, because like obviously
Every
it seems
day-
to be,
well,
like
every
the
day
synthesis
she-
of everything is pretty much straightforward, but the FRQs and stuff like that, we actually had to pull actual history from out of your ass. I was
Yeah.
not able to do that.
No.
But like I mean,
I might as well just say
our warms.
GG, go next.
Well, I mean, our warms were pretty good. I mean, she did that every day with us. Like the
Who?
Miss McDonald.
Oh,
She always
probably.
That was like our morning thing. It
I
was
struggled so much doing that.
little-
This is like a weird question, but have you ever gotten frustrated with a teacher because they didn't
Daily.
give you but not because like they gave you like too much work or whatever, but like the exact opposite, where it's like you almost felt like the work was like dumbed down. Did
Do
you
have a
ever?
story?
I don't think so.
I
I'm
don't
just more
think
pissed
so.
of work
okay,
I
because
get.
here's what happened with me. So I was like I was a really good like English student, like right. So I would take honors like the last I took honors, like AP, not AP English. I don't know, just like honors classes. So I usually had like the summer reading and whatever. And like one year, okay, I didn't want to read. I was like, I'm gonna be lazy, and I'm gonna like leave it till the end. And then I got like, I get a lot of anxiety, so I'm like, oh man, like I'm not gonna finish. Like I'm just gonna like enroll for the regular English class. So I get the regular English class. I'm like, okay, whatever. And I remember some of the honor students were like, Amara, like just do it. Like trust me, like we haven't even like started. Like some of us are like still reading, and I'm like, no, I know myself, and it's not gonna happen. I'm gonna get an F or something. So I was in this English class. And the teacher, like, I remember I felt so, like, the assignments were just so small. And I was like, why are we doing this in high school? So a lot of times, you know, we'd be assigned, like, these essays and whatever. And while they were a pain, like, I did them. Like, it was whatever. But when I had this class, I remember one of the assignments was to, like, write a 5-sentence paragraph. And I'm like, I'm not doing that. I just got really sassy. I'm like, I'm sorry, but I'm not doing that. I don't know why you're teaching us to write a 5-sentence paragraph, but like we should be writing essays by this point. Like, this was like senior year already.
Oh no.
I'm like, how? And like these kids like wouldn't do it, and I'm like, how? Like, I don't know. And so I kind of like. I got mad at her, and I'm like, and then I remember later I was like, excuse me, why do I have a 0 on this assignment? She's like, and she recalled it. She was like, Amara, you told me that you were not gonna do it. I'm like, oh, you're right. Like I took accountability. I'm like, yeah, you're right. I'm not gonna do that.
You're right. I didn't want to fucking do it.
And I'm like, okay. And then another time, she lost my paper for something else because she had told us to turn it in. I don't know what was up with her. Like she was kind of like forgetful. And I was like, so me and this other kid, Marco, like we turned in our paper. And then all of a sudden, she's like yelling at the class, like, oh, keep the papers, turn them in tomorrow. Because like, I don't know if she like didn't want to like misplace that. She misplaced a lot of things. And then I'm like, oh, just to let you know, like Marco and I already turned it in. And then she's like, no, I didn't receive any papers. I'm like, lady, like this was 5 minutes ago. How do you not remember that I gave you my paper? And I'm like, all I know is you better find the paper because I'm not doing it again. And Marco knows that I turned it in, and everybody else knows that I turned. Like I made a scene in front of the class. I'm like, just so you're all aware, I hope you guys saw me turn in that paper because I am not doing that again. I better get a grade.
Witnesses, let it be known. Like a true historian, let it be known that Amara Rodriguez.
I know that Amara Rodriguez turned in her assignment. I better not get a 0. And so then, like maybe like a minute before the bell rings, she's like, Amara, and I'm like, yes, and she's like, I have your papers right here. And I'm like, good, you better have my paper.
I would have started with goodbye.
I'm like, because I didn't do that 5-sentence paragraph, and I need something else to like hold my grade up.
Honestly, I think about it now. It's like I can think, you know, taking that AP language class because it actually helped me learn how to, you know, structure making essays and papers. Because once college hit and we had to do that all over again, I was like, this is easy as fucking shit. Like,
Yeah.
we already did this so many fucking times in high school. I'm like, what to do? Yeah. Oh, and then physics too. Like when we had to do that science project.
The drama of Mr. Control.
It was crazy that he was only there for 2
He
years.
is
yeah.
and was a great teacher, and kids love him.
No.
But so he
Get to work.
He had to work for it
No, his
because what was it? The old chemistry physics teacher like left.
Oh,
or
Mr.
something.
Bernard, yeah, he left. I was like, thank God, because my brother hated that teacher so fucking
Oh, I
much.
remember what he looked like.
I didn't
looked like
like him, but
Einstein
in
a little
retrospect,
bit.
I was like, oh, like I get, like it was nice that he was so fascinated by everything.
Yeah.
It was mismatched with the student.
Yeah, honestly, one of his favorite phrases was whenever we would like, because the way he has structures the class is definitely the way you would see in a college physics class. Even though I never took college physics, never will. But his favorite phrase would be like, "Get to work," and then everyone would be going to work, and he'd just be like going around with his hands behind his back.
Yes.
And we would, everyone was trying to like get like praise. Not everyone, but like there's people around the room that want to get praise for doing like the work, and he's just like, and he just continues walking around. I was like, okay.
And then you'd see, I remember there's certain people that like just like had beef with him, and then he would go, and they go, like so offended.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I
He
felt
was-
bad
But
that
everyone tended to like him.
So he was a
People that
great
did
teacher,
to
but
like him,
when
though.
I remember when he joined, he was just really strict, and he was like not like giving any leeway to students that were just not getting the concepts. He would do a lot of teaching. He would like tutors after school.
yeah, I would be there every single day or whenever those tutoring sessions because I was ass
But
at
the
physics.
parents started complaining. Remember that?
Yeah, I remember that. That's why he only stayed for 2 years and then he had to leave to I think went to Paris after that.
Well, because I think after
Either
he taught us
Paris or
physics,
Mhm.
like he was told that he wasn't gonna get renewed, and then
The
I'm proud of
2
this
year.
one. We like petitioned for him to come back.
Mhm.
We were like, no, he's actually a good teacher. Like we actually like him. He's just
Just the
it's
way.
a really hard class.
He's a very abrasive teacher.
Very abrasive, very caring. I remember he would like cry on like military holidays.
True,
Wasn't he
because
in
he
the
was a
military?
he was a
Wasn't he
veteran.
in
He was a
the-
Yeah,
veteran.
veteran.
he was a veteran. Yeah,
Yeah,
I remember.
He lost
a
a lot
lot.
of people when he was in the
Yeah.
military.
he would like cry when he heard taps play.
Oh, during 9/11.
Yeah.
During our 9/11.
And like
thing.
it helped me appreciate a lot more of like, okay, this is not just like some holiday we have. Like
Mhm.
really like it was very grounded and
Yeah.
did a great job. He was one of my favorites. But yeah, I remember there's the whole debacle.
That science
like,
project
he was
almost
gonna get
killed me
fired.
on the inside trying to do because it was like not your
Oh.
typical science project. It was like you had to make a research paper.
So you know how like the district, I feel like maybe Mara, you saw the same thing. Like the district has like a handout. They're like, this is what a science project is. Like you write this hypothesis,
Oh yeah.
and then you have your materials and all the things. And what he did was he took a red pen, and he went in and he marked the shit out of it.
Exactly.
He crossed this out and said, "This is not how you write a hypothesis. This is what a hypothesis should
Oh
be."
my god.
You're like, "This is not the formatting. You should be using this, this, and that."
Oh,
and so we
so
got
you
this
went.
handout that
Yeah.
was from the district, but like super marked up in red.
You
He
should
was
have just like retyped it. That's like
He
at
should.
that point.
I think he should.
But it gave like the message of like, no, like we're gonna do science correctly.
Yeah.
I remember I did. I actually liked that project. I did. Like
Yeah,
the
you know what? Because we
psychology
worked our
experiment.
ass off on that because it was
Yeah.
not because it's not like your
You
regular.
and Christina.
I think so, yeah. Because it's not like your typical science project. It's like an actual research paper, like you would quote unquote publish. I mean, it's a high school to like a art like a.
We did one on like
Science-
multitasking. and,
multitasking,
like, whether
yeah.
People could remember details.
I
if
still
they
have
asked
like
them multiple
brief
times.
little like papers of what we did when we were building that essay.
I love that project. We had people watch. I made my dad buy like 20 pizzas from Little Caesars. So that was our
Yeah,
incentive for people to come to my house
to
and they
watch
had
an
to
episode
watch
of
an episode of
SpongeBob, do a math test,
do a math test, and then like they had to do like an activity during
Uh-huh.
the second episode.
and then they had to do
and
another
then
one.
do another math test to see if they like
That
would retain.
that sounds dope. That sounds dope.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Unlike in chemistry.
Don't piss me off with chemistry. Oh my god, I was so lazy in that class
Really?
because Dr. Quinn, he's
Dr. Quinn was
bless
good.
his heart,
Yeah.
honestly, but
Come on, candle. Which color candle
Oh,
can
melts the
melt
fastest.
oh my
I kinda-
god! You
Such a
remember?
bullshit question.
I remember years later he asked. We got.
that.
I think it was a C. Oh god, or
Yeah,
a
a
C.
C.
Was it a C or a D? I don't fucking
no,
care.
it was a C. It was a C.
It was
Did
so.
it, what was it? Red number 5 or?
It probably was.
I don't remember, but we were just so lazy that I think it was sophomore. It was our sophomore year, and I think we were like so lazy that year. But I was like, let's just do. I don't know what in my
You know
mind was
what?
like. Which color, like a color candle melt faster?
I don't know how we pulled that research out of our ass, honestly, when we had to do that part of the science project. Because I'm like, how the hell did that make any sense to any science
And
teacher?
Jose was like part of the top 40.
Yeah, mind you, this is the top 40 kind of representation. And which color candle melts the fastest? Red number 5, apparently. Oh god.
I swear there was so much good projects we could have done, but honestly, I was kind of lazy in that class too. No offense, Dr. Quinn was an awesome teacher. He would wake students up with like a mechanism. That
Oh
makes
yeah, I
sparks
remember that.
with his.
I was only interested in his class just because anytime we would go outside just to do science experiments, that'd be the only way I'd be awake in that class because we had it at the end of the day.
Or the pumpkin one.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
the
pumpkin
pumpkin was
drop.
crazy.
Pump-
That's fine.
well, not the drop. Well, yeah, the drop, but he blew like a
blew
chemical-
fire into the
he
pumpkin.
blew fire out of the jack o' lantern. Like he blew fire out of it. It was really cool. Like he was
Giving pyromaniac a little bit.
A little, yeah. I honestly should have paid attention in that class because I didn't learn anything until I took college chemistry. But once I took that class, that shit was so easy. And I didn't want to say because Dr. Quinn's a bad teacher. I was just a lazy ass student, and honest in that class.
You see, responsibility. You see, responsibility.
Take accountability.
Take
Years
accountability.
later.
Years later,
You
you
learned
finally
accountability
realize.
at some point, though.
Yeah.
I would say over the course of high school.
Yeah. Because I feel like when
It's
you're
a job of
Okay.
Sorry, wow.
Because I feel like, well, when I was a freshman, I think I rarely took any accountability, but that's just because most of it was like not even my fault.
Well, yeah. Freshman is like.
But I mean, like, you learn as you go. In terms of like, yeah, you know what? I'll take the L for this a little bit.
So okay, so apart from that, what have you guys done in the past 10 years after high school? So who wants to go for? I know who wants to go.
I'm so different from how I was in high school.
in 10
Same.
years?
I moved. I met a lot of people. I came out.
Mm-hmm.
I stuck around in San Diego. Much more social. I was so
UC
quiet.
San Diego.
UC San Diego brought a lot out of me. Stressed the hell out of me. But yeah, I mean, there was a feeling that I had after I moved where I was like, I don't want to go back to like. Of course, like I have good people here and like good memories here, but like there was a feeling of like I don't want to go back to the type of person or like the feeling of being very like closeted and like kind of to myself that I was in high school.
Mm-hmm.
I'd barely started telling people that I was gay like in senior year. I'm like a handful of people.
Uh-huh.
I don't think I even like came out to you, Jose, like when I was.
If you did, I probably don't remember. It's probably like everything is just high school was just so much going on, especially like last year. Just because, like, honestly, we took all of like the AP classes, so that way, like, once that test was done, like, you could honestly do whatever the hell you wanted, and you could take as many breaks as you want. So honestly, it's a lot. How many schools did you end up going through, like, when you started applying to teaching?
So I got my master's in education at UCSD. They had a really good program where you do your first year as your education minor,
Mm-hmm.
and then you go to grad school for like a year and a half.
Oh, okay.
So that was COVID.
Mm.
I finished my program when COVID started.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And so after that COVID year, I applied to a bunch of places, and like districts were not hiring for some reason.
Yeah.
They were having to like
It was rough.
cut people, and they weren't hiring newbies.
It was rough. It was like a rough
It
time.
was a really rough time. So I ended up applying to a bunch of charter schools, and that's where I ended up working. So that's where I've been working since college, is mostly in charter schools. Like,
Okay.
some more alternative settings, and I work now with students that have like dropped out and are trying to do a credit recovery.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
So
Very nice.
it's cool.
Which charter school do you feel like you feel like you gravitate the most towards right now?
The one
Now
that
that
I'm
you started
working at
teaching.
right now, because it's really like we get the kids that the district like fails to serve, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
So like kids that are at risk for expulsion, kids that like go to juvie and get out, and like their old school doesn't want them, or like the people that they had problems with are at their old school. So yeah, that's the places like where I'm like.
Do you end up seeing most of them like turn around at that point, like once they
A
get
good number
inside
of
to
them
your
turn
class?
around. Some of them don't unlearn their bad habits.
Mm-hmm.
But it is cool to see some of them, like, for some of them, by the time they get to us, they're, like, resolved to just be different. And
Fair.
so I'll get kids where, like, their parents, like, watch out, like, my kid does this, this, and that, he's a troublemaker. And then just because he's in this new opportunity, like, doesn't act up on campus. And I'm like,
And it's a whole year-long thing, or is it just like a semester that they're with you until they switch?
however long they need until they finish
Okay.
their diploma.
Yeah.
To... Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Fair
Yeah.
enough.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's pretty good with that. I mean, with me, I have changed a lot ever since graduating high school. I mean, I literally went straight to university. I mean, like a lot of us, we went straight to university after we graduated high school. Like going to Cal State San Bernardino, it was like a whole new opportunity for me too, especially since I did a lot of things in the last 10 years. Like, I mean, I recently got my master's degree in history recently, so
Very nice.
thank you. So that's one accomplishment. I traveled outside of the country 3 times, I believe. So I studied abroad in my undergrad years during the summer in South Korea. I went to Japan and Korea in 2023, and then recently I went back to Japan. So I was able to explore the world. I mean, there were some bad things during those times. Like, for example, when I did my CBEST, so that's basically like the test you take for substitute teaching, right? If you're going to go into substitute teaching, you take a thing called the CBEST. I remember I passed the reading and the writing the first time, but I failed the math portion 2 times. But on the 3rd time, I passed it. And when I did my CSET for social science, I took each section separately, but by each time I passed them. I passed each section. So I was happy to have that. And then now I've been substitute teaching at San Antonio High for 4 years now. I've been substitute teaching, and in the past 2 years, I've been the director of the mariachi group, the after school mariachi group over at the high school, trying to rebuild it to its former glory of when I was in high school.
It's a lot of work.
Mariachi. It is a lot of work. It is a lot of work, but it's promising. But it came out promising. That's what I like about it. It's a lot of work, but it came out promising. And I was happy to work with a lot of good students. I mean, I don't know about you, Amara. The past 10 years since
Oh my
graduating high
goodness.
school.
Well, I feel like I'm kind of the same, just like obviously like life kind of just carries you, and I'd say I'm still like just as shy as I was, but like when I get to know you, you know, it's like I'm very loud. But after high school, I took a semester off. I really like, it's funny because I was an avid, and I didn't really have like too much of a plan. I think I was just kind of like going with the flow, and I remember being very like bummed that all these kids, I was very C average in school. Like I was just skating by. And like I tried, but I just not A+ or anything like that. And so for a lot of people, they're like, oh yeah, I'm going to college, like I'm going to this school, and they were getting like their acceptances. And I remember just being very like bummed because I got accepted to like one. It wasn't even one that I like really wanted to go to. And quite honestly, I did not know what I wanted to major in. So I took a semester off. I decided I was going to go to the community college. I started the community college just like taking my general ed, didn't really like say exactly what I was going to major in. And then I just kept going. I got a job as an avid tutor, and then after that, I was just like in a rush. I'm like, okay, well, science is where the money's at, you know? Like I'm gonna go for science. Mind you, like I never really took science classes. I was just like, oh yeah, like I just need to make money. I need to get through life, you know?
Yeah.
So I decided that I was gonna be like a biology major. Finally, I took all these math classes. Math was never a strong suit, but I like started from the bottom and like worked my way up. I got decent at it. And but then I finally took all the prereqs for math, and I got to science, and I'm like, I can't do this. Like, I don't understand it. I never took a chemistry class in high school. So when I got there, it was like chemistry 101, and I just had no idea what I was doing. But I don't know what it is about science teachers. Like, I don't know if you guys feel the same about this, but like, I feel like all the science teachers, at least that I've had, they're complete butthole. Like I just like
A lot of them don't
Yeah.
learn how to teach.
yeah, like they're
That's
good at
true.
what they do. Like they know their content, but they just can't learn how to like teach it to other people. And so I think maybe if I would have had better professors that were more willing to help us succeed, then maybe I would have been successful, but it didn't. So then I was like, okay, well I got accepted to UCR, and I'm gonna go into psychology. And at this time I'm like going to school with my mom, because I'm like, oh, you need like one more class.
I remember.
Yeah, I encouraged her because she had like one more class that she needed, 1 or 2, to get her associates. And you know, she was like on her grind, you know, like, and she was like, you know what, you're gonna apply for your BA, I'm gonna apply for my BA too, like, let's do it. And so we were taking classes together, and she's like, last minute, she didn't know what she wanted to do either. She was just like going to school to like say like, you know what, I got my BA, you know, it's good to have. And so I'm very close with my mom like that. And then so she went in psychology, but then she changed it as soon as we got into art history. And I'm like, well, I guess I don't really know what I want to do. So I guess I'll change it too. So we both ended up doing art history. So I graduated with art history, which is so funny because like, unlike Martin, history for me, like I'm not much of like an auditory listener or like learner, so it's very hard for me, but I like the artwork. But I graduated with the art history degree, and then the opportunity arose for me to be a kindergarten teacher at a private school. And I liked it, so then I decided to apply for my student teaching, and that's what I'm doing now. And I'm finishing up my student teaching, and hopefully, you know, I have a job next year. I'm just applying and whatever, and then yeah, I got married.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yes. So I'm no longer Rodriguez. I'm Soto. That's why at the beginning I was like, oh yeah, Soto.
When you almost forgot to say your last name.
I know.
So that you changed it.
Oh, I changed it. But that's
And he's in the military, so he's in Turkey right now, but we're gonna be leaving abroad in a year. We're gonna have like our church wedding, our Catholic wedding, and then we're gonna move on. But yeah.
Me, so with me, I honestly didn't know what the fuck I was doing for like the first 2 or 3 months of senior year, because you know it was time to apply for schools and whatever. So I was like, okay, I honestly don't care where I go to school as long as I don't have to go to school here. Lo and behold, I regret that a little bit, just because I could have saved myself a whole shit ton of money had I gone to community college first and then transferred over, so that way I didn't have to pay as many student loans as I do now, because it's embarrassing just a little bit. So I went to a private school for 4 years. 1 year I spent on campus, and I was like, fuck this, in the most respectful way possible. But no, I'm not living on campus anymore. That was miserable a little. And so I commuted the second year, and then I switched over to online school. So I just did that all online because I feel like it was easier, so I didn't have to commute every single day to school, and it was a lot easier, and I didn't have to pay so much in financial aid anyway. So I basically had tuition free, whatever, those last 2 years. Originally I went for biology because I was gonna apply to vet school and be just your typical veterinarian stuff. And then biology hit me with a ton of bricks, and I was like, this is it. We're switching majors right after that first year. I do miss chemistry though, because it was like the one class I actually understood out of all the science classes I did take. I was excited to take A and P after, but I think with biology I just kind of like, it just ruined it all for me. So I'm just like, you know what, no, we need to switch. And I debated it, and then I was like, you know what, let's just go with the safer option, which was early childhood studies, which is essentially just like teaching from, you know, kids, babies till I think elementary school. So I did that. Then I started working. My first job was technically at the school, working at a restaurant, and then I found this job here in Hemet. So that's where I started. That's where I got to know Amara when I became an avid tutor. And then at that point, when I was doing like all of my, I guess you could say like the what do they call it, like practicum hours, I was just doing all of that those hours at the preschool. So I was working there for maybe a year or two before I applied and got to work there as a teacher. So I was there for 6 years, and now I can say that working there has changed a lot in terms of like how I view working with kids. So I take a different approach in my new job in ABA. So I feel like everything that I got there has definitely transferred over easily, but it was just a hot mess for those first like 2.5 years I was there in school, because I was just trying to figure everything out. I honestly thought, like, why did I end up going to a private school? I felt like I got accepted to plenty of like different UCs and CSUs, and a couple out of state. But I just went with the safer option just because I had family that went to that same private school, so we're like, okay, maybe there's some way like I wouldn't have to pay as much, but obviously it doesn't work that way. Just because you know someone doesn't mean you'll get a tuition discount. But I guess it all worked out. So, but yeah, it was not pretty the first 2 years, but I could say it definitely got better as time went on.
Yeah. So, if you guys don't mind,
I guess not. I mean, what do you want to talk about
no,
now?
I just wanted to just read a few things from my high school yearbook to see like how accurate things are. So this one was from my U.S. history teacher, Mr. Lala Martin. It was truly an honor and a pleasure having you as my student. I wish you the best in your future. Well, truth be told, I think he was spot on about that. I have a pretty awesome one. So I like this one. Martin, it's been 7 years. Can you believe it's been 7 years? So basically, this was like, I've known this person for 7 years before graduating high school, right? So it's been 7 years. Can you believe we're almost out? You are a fantastic person and play a mean mariachi. I wish you the best and may all your dreams come true. You're going places, Martin. Take every opportunity you can. And who knows, you might just find the road to El Dorado.
El Dorado.
To Xibalba. Sincerely, Nelly Gonzalez, aka Tulio.
Tushibaba. Oh,
You ever seen the movie?
I
Oh
did.
my
Yeah.
gosh, Nelly, I'm so sorry about Jose did not know our routine. Tulio. Oh my gosh. What else was there? Oh yeah, a little interesting one.
Okay.
Martin, the past few years have been very interesting to say the least.
Mm.
We have had our ups and downs, but we still came out as pretty good friends. I really hope you have an amazing time in college and meet a lot of fun new people. It was great getting to know you, and good luck in whatever life brings you. Spring.
All right.
Don't need to know that.
Okay.
No,
Are
that-
Jose's and mine in there? Did we
I don't
sign
think- did you
Martin's
sign
yearbook?
Let me see. I'm actually curious. Did I write into this?
If you can't find theirs, read Angels.
Yeah.
Read Angel. Okay, yeah. Let me look. Let me see. Listen, I was telling them earlier. Like I was looking at my yearbook a few weeks ago, and I was like, "Why is this blank?" And I'm like, "Oh, of course it's blank because I probably bought it at the end." So like on the last day, so I was like,
Remember,
"What?
you did write on like the last.
What was it? Like I didn't write anything on here." So I was like, "No wonder. I can't be mad at myself for not knowing." Oh, okay. So I found mine. Knowing you since the beginning of high school is a blessing. I don't take that for granted. As long as I'm still alive and able to threaten your sister's life. Oh gosh. Okay, so she will continue.
do that.
What?
Oh.
Okay, hold on. She will continue to get. Okay, I don't know where I was going with that. It's been great knowing you. Have a good summer. I can't even read that. It's crazy how much my handwriting has changed from here to now.
It's been great knowing you,
It's
but
been
you
great.
still know him. Well, look
Yeah.
at us, 10 years later.
I don't think.
Should I try to find mine?
Yeah, go ahead.
No, but I mean, during those last few months, I think we just wanted to just get it over with. Like the last few months of school, I think we were like already like, okay, let's just get this over with already. Like, you want to get out? Like, come on, let's go. Like, you know, like, where's grad practice? Where's senior checkout? Where's grad night?
Oh, grad night. Ooh.
Grad night was so fun. At least it wasn't our year that got San Antonio banned from Disneyland for 10 years. At least it wasn't.
Is
our
it 10 years?
Yeah, it's a 10-year ban. But at
Well,
least
for
Now
like
it's
this-
lifted.
huh?
Well, true.
I guess now
That
it's
has.
lifted. Did I not sign your yearbook? Wow.
Dang, that's not like it.
Shame.
There's like an autograph page somewhere in there too. Yeah.
Someone's got faded out.
Oh no.
I read it. I think
because
mine's
of
not
the
faded, and then I don't even
Oh,
remember
it's-
anymore.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chris took a lot of it. I don't think he did because we were like so busy.
Oh.
Because we were like so busy.
Okay, if you were to go 10 years back and write something now, what would you?
Yeah, what would you?
What do
I
you
don't know
think
what you
you
would
would
have
write?
written.
Oh, what would I have written? See you at church. Because there was no goodbye. It was just like
See,
That was-
I,
that was-
I
that was
still
just
played
that.
we were
piano
still
for St. Anthony for like
we
a
were still
year
involved
after
in
that.
church. Yeah, we were still
Yeah.
involved in church.
Yeah.
But I mean, yearbooks are something that really does bring you back memories. Oh my god, especially with the teachers who signed. Oh, Erica Roxana, yo, mariachi buddy, it was a great year. I wish you much success with your group in your future. Good luck, Erica Roxana. Well, Erica, guess what? If you are hearing this, and if you heard me earlier, I'm in charge of the mariachi club at San Antonio High, so I guess I am keeping the group together. So, all right. So before we leave, you guys know, 2025, right? 10 years since we graduated. A whole new generation is graduating this year. 10 years after we did. You guys have any advice for those high school seniors who are graduating this year from San Antonio or anywhere? Really? What's an advice?
I'll let you guys go first.
Follow your dreams. I know that some people have an easier time like figuring out what they want to do, but even if you don't, just kind of like take your time. You have plenty of time. I know my sister, she's graduating this school year, so I'm very excited for her. And shout out to you, Abigail. I hope you do everything that you're passionate about in life.
All right.
Thanks.
What advice would I give? I would say if you need a fresh start, take it. Like for some people, high school isn't always the place that they thrive or they're their most comfortable selves. And whether someone's going to college or someone's just going into work or still figuring it out, like once that pressure of high school like ends after graduation, like people can really like grow into themselves. Like some people do most of their growing after high school. So just take it as a fresh start, and who knows how different of a person you'll be.
That is true. I remember something. I just remember that right now while you guys were explaining it. Because not recently, I think it was already a year. We had traveled to the Bay Area for my youngest brother who graduated from Berkeley, and we had stayed over there for maybe like 4 days, and we went to go visit a family member of ours who lives out there, and she was explaining because they were having this whole conversation about, oh, what if he doesn't find a job that he gets from his major? Like why would you be spending time doing something, focusing on a major that won't bring you as much success because it's so impacted? There's already, the job market's not that great with that major and stuff. And I like her response. She was saying, like, honestly, I tell my kids, go study whatever you want, like enjoy those 4 years that you're pursuing that passion, and then if you don't get the job that you get initially and you have to start working at like something else, let that be. At least you enjoyed those 4 years doing whatever the hell you wanted. And whether it's film production, whether it's working at city office, doing stuff, and whatever the passion is, take it. Like honestly, just enjoy it, because those are like the moments that you're gonna remember. And even as like you're doing like the mundane task, you'll remember those years, and you'll be thankful that you have taken a chance. And who knows, maybe there'll be that point where you're in that passion era, and that you'll have landed your dream job, and that's where life will be taking you at that point. And honestly, I switched through different majors. So honestly, even if you feel like you're in a certain point where your passion doesn't bring that to you anymore and you need to switch to something else, you are more than welcome to do that. You don't have to be stuck in one thing. I try to be as multifaceted as I can and trying to learn different skills to like transfer over to like new opportunities, new career opportunities. That's what I have been considering since I started working my new job. Just because you never know. You never know when you might find something new to focus on that might bring you more joy than your previous job.
Yeah. I mean, for me, this is kind of like an emotional year for me because I mean, not only did I graduate from my master's program, but the seniors, most of the seniors who are graduating this year from San Jacinto High, they were actually my students when they were in world history 2 years ago. When I did that long-term sub-position for world history for that 1 year, a lot of them were my students. So I'm very happy and excited for them as they graduate. And the advice I would give is, just go out there, just travel. If you want to travel, right? If you don't go straight into university, if you want to take a break, that's fine. Like if you're part of a religious organization that offers like a mission trip,
Right.
do that. Try to do that at least. If college isn't your calling, like right now, you could do something else. Like if you think you're ready to go in the workforce, I mean, I wish you guys the best of luck. But other than that, guys, just do what you guys feel like it's right. It's a scary world out there, but if you surround yourself with the people that you trust, who believe in you, you're fine. You'll be fine.
So, with that being said, I mean, as soon as the dogs stop barking behind us, thank you guys for stopping by and joining us in this very sentimental episode of A Drink with the Past. How do you guys feel after, coming back here 10 years after this all happened? I mean, obviously this podcast didn't exist 10 years ago, but if just like having to revisit everything from high school.
That we talked about.
I think it's just like interesting reflecting, like just how far we've come and the goals that we've accomplished. And yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think it's so important to always have goals, like moving forward in life in general. So,
Yeah, I like the idea of setting new goals.
yeah.
And honestly, I would advise you guys to like kind of do this as well. Like I don't want to say like keep like a memoir thing, like a journal or something, but like 10 years from now, like in
Like a time
2035
capsule?
Well, not time capsule, like in 2035, if you guys do meet up with each other, like if you guys do a high school reunion, right, just try to reflect back on how you guys did like the last 10 years since you graduated from high school. And I think it is a good thing where you like reflect back. It's like, oh man, what have I done these past 10 years? What were my successes, but what were my failures also, and how did I learn from those failures, and how did I grow as a better person, or how did I grow with like meeting new people, or like then communicate with the people I knew in high school, right? I feel like those 10 years kind of gives you a lot to like reflect in how you grow as a person since high school, So,
Well, this has been your host,
nothing.
and Jose. Oh, and before we end it, if you guys liked what you listened to, feel free to comment, like, and subscribe to the channel. When you hear from us next, we will be discussing.
The Yakuza.
Yeah, go ahead.
So our next episode, we will be discussing about the Yasukuni Shrine in Japan. Basically, the shrine that honors all the fallen soldiers who died in battle for the emperor in Japan. So, Yakusuni Shrine, is it basically should all Japanese soldiers who died for the emperor be honored, or is it depend on personal decision?
Okay. Sounds good. And if you guys want to listen into it, make sure to click the notification bell to know when we release the next video. And thank you guys as we take a drink with the past. Cheers.
Cheers.